Hey people of YouTube, this video is going to cover the entire installation of the 48-inch Altura Ceiling fan by Home Decorators Collection. If you found this video, you're either looking for some more information about the fan or you're stuck in your own installation and you're looking for some help. This video is here to do all of the above. We're going to cover the complete installation from unboxing to turning it on and everything in between. If you want to fast forward to a certain step in the installation process, you can use the links below and that'll take you right to that step. If you like this video and you find it helpful, please click like and subscribe at the end, and that'll help other people find the video as well. So as you can see, we've already unpacked the fan, and we're going to check the manual to make sure that we have all the parts present before we start, and that way we don't get stuck along the way. But before we do, just a couple notes. You want to make sure that the electric is turned off at the wall switch and at the breaker box before beginning. If you don't feel comfortable working around electricity, we suggest hiring a licensed electrician to help you out. Another thing is if you're replacing a ceiling light in your ceiling and you're putting this fan up in place of that, you're going to want to make sure that the outlet box is marked acceptable for fan support. A lot of outlet boxes are too thin, or they're too light, or they're plastic. If that's the case, just change out the outlet box with a metal one that says acceptable for fan support. Alright, so now that the notes are out of the way, we have the manual open. We're just going to make sure that we have all the parts. So the first part here is the mounting bracket. The mounting bracket comes pre-assembled inside the canopy with the canopy ring attached. We'll show you in the first step how to get all that stuff unassembled so we can get started. You have the decorative motor collar cover. This is going to go over the hardware on the top of the motor, make it look nicer. This is a threaded ball and down rod assembly. The threading just makes a more secure connection and helps it to be wobble free. This is a switch cup adapter. This is the switch cup. The switch cup has the fan speed pull chain and the reverse switch. There's also a little label in here that tells you that the fan's not going to run until this molded adapter plug is connected to the bottom of the fan motor. So if you like to wire up the fan and then try to test it to make sure that the wiring's correct, the fan's not going to run until that's plugged into the bottom of the fan. You have 5 blades, and you have the fan motor. The base of the fan motor is the other end of that molded adapter plug. And this cardboard is just motor stops to keep the fan from moving during shipment. You have a hardware pack that has the pull chain extension and your blade attachment screws and some plastic wire nuts to make the wire connections. And this pack here is all the decorative bolts that hold the blade attachment screws and the fan blades in place. Now a couple tools we're going to need. You're going to want some electrical tape, a small Phillips screwdriver if you have one handy. If not, it's not the end of the world. I have a standard Phillips screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and of course a ladder. One other thing we like to use is this AC voltage detector. You just place this up against the wires to make sure that the power is off before starting. Just a little safety thing that we do. Alright, so we have everything here. We're ready to begin. The mounting bracket comes pre-assembled inside the canopy with the decorative canopy ring attached. To remove the mounting bracket, first twist the canopy ring to remove it and expose the screws at the bottom of the canopy. Then use a Phillips head screwdriver to loosen but not remove the screws at the bottom of the canopy. This will allow you to remove the mounting bracket from the canopy. You'll notice a small locking post that sticks through a hole in the bottom of the canopy. You'll need to loosen the screws enough to allow for clearance of that post and then twist the mounting bracket to remove from the canopy. This fan features a slide-on mounting bracket for easy installation. There are 2 slots in the top of the mounting bracket that will align with the 2 screws from the outlet box. You'll simply align the slots of the mounting bracket over the screws and slide it into place, instead of removing the screws. This close-up is just demonstrating how the mounting bracket slides onto the screws of the outlet box. To install the mounting bracket, use a Phillips head screwdriver to loosen but not remove the 2 screws that are in the outlet box. Next, feed the house supply lines through the top hole of the mounting bracket, and then align the slots of the mounting bracket with the screws in the outlet box, and then slide into place. And then use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten both of the outlet box screws. Make sure that both screws are completely tightened. The fan comes shipped with cardboard motor stops. Simply pull these out of the motor housing and discard. These are just there to make sure that the motor doesn't move during shipment. Before routing the wires, you'll need to use a flathead screwdriver to loosen but not remove the set screw on the top of the motor collar. The motor collar also has a safety tab that will lock the downrod in place if it ever loosens over time. Next, remove the rubber band holding the wires together and gently stretch the wires out. It's a good idea to twist the ends of the wires together, which will make it easier to insert into the ball and downrod assembly. Then, take the ball and downrod assembly and gently pull the green ground cable from inside, and then insert the ball and downrod assembly into the canopy, and then place the decorative canopy ring onto the downrod, making sure that the black side is touching the canopy. Then, slide the decorative motor collar cover onto the downrod, making sure that the largest opening is facing towards the bottom of the downrod. Then insert the wires through the bottom of the downrod so that they exit through the ball portion. Gently pull the wires through until the downrod meets the motor collar. Attach the downrod to the fan by simply screwing it into the motor collar. Once the downrod is completely screwed in, use a flathead screwdriver to completely tighten the set screw on the motor collar. Once the set screw is tightened, slide the motor collar cover down to cover the motor collar. If installing this fan with the included downrod, it's a good idea to trim and strip the wires prior to installation to make enough room in the canopy. To do so, measure about a foot from the top of the ball and downrod assembly and use a pair of wire cutters to cut the wires, and then strip off about 3/4 of an inch of insulation from each wire. Once the wires are stripped, twist each end to make sure that there are no frayed strands. Now the fan is ready to be hung. Before hanging the fan, it's important to note the tab on the inside of the mounting bracket that will align with the slot in the ball and downrod assembly. This close-up demonstration is just showing how to make sure that the ball is properly seated in the mounting bracket so that the slot of the ball engages the tab of the mounting bracket. When hanging the fan, you'll place the ball inside the mounting bracket and then turn the entire assembly until you feel the ball seat into position when it's engaged on the tab. Before hanging the fan, you may need to position the house wires so as not to interfere in the ball inserting into the mounting bracket. Then lift the fan assembly up towards the ceiling and note the location of the slot of the ball and the tab in the mounting bracket. Slide the ball into the mounting bracket and then turn the entire assembly until you feel the ball seat in position so that the slot is engaged on that tab in the mounting bracket. You'll feel the assembly drop into place when the ball is properly seated, and the fan will not be able to be rotated any further. Begin wiring the fan by taking the green ground wire from the ball and downrod assembly and the green ground wire from the mounting bracket and twisting those two wires together. Once those two wires are twisted together, twist those together with the bare or copper wire from the house. This is the ground wires. Secure the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Next, take the white wire from the fan and twist that together with the white wire from the house supply lines. These are the neutral connections. Twist those two wires together and secure the connection with an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Next, take the black and blue wires from the fan and twist those two wires together. Once those wires are twisted together, twist those wires together with the black or hot wire from the house supply lines. Secure the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Once all the wires have been connected, gently push the wires back up into the mounting bracket and outlet box and make room for the canopy to attach to the mounting bracket. The canopy attaches to the mounting bracket using two keyhole slots at the bottom of the canopy that will align with the two screws at the base of the mounting bracket. Simply lift the canopy towards the ceiling so that the screws from the mounting bracket come through the keyhole slots, and then twist the canopy to hold it in place. Next, use a small Phillips head screwdriver to tighten the screws and secure the canopy. If you don't have a small Phillips head screwdriver, you can always push the entire fan assembly to the side to allow for a regular size screwdriver to have access to the screws. Make sure both screws are completely tightened. The canopy ring is held in place using two slots in the canopy ring that will align with the two screws at the base of the canopy. To attach the canopy ring, lift the canopy ring up to the canopy, align the slots of the canopy ring with the screws in the canopy, and then twist to engage those screws and lock the ring in place. The blades are attached to the fan using a decorative nut and a blade attachment screw. You'll insert the decorative nut into the side of the blade that faces the floor, and then up to the blade bracket, and then through the top of the blade bracket, you'll insert the blade attachment screw to secure the blade. When properly aligned, the post of the decorative nut will insert into the hole of the blade bracket. To install the blade, make sure the blade side with the top of the curve is facing towards the ceiling. Then place a decorative nut through the center hole of the blade, and then place the blade up against the blade bracket so that the post of the decorative nut inserts into the hole of the blade bracket, and then using a blade attachment screw, insert it through the top of the blade bracket and start the screw into the nut. Do not completely tighten the screw yet, as you'll need a little play in the fan blade to insert the rest of the nuts and screws. Once all three screws are started into the decorative nuts, then you can use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten the three screws. Make sure to not over-tighten the blades, as over-tightening could cause the blades to crack. Repeat this process for the four remaining blades. The switch cup adapter attaches to the black bracket at the base of the motor using two keyhole slots and one standard screw hole. These will align with the three screws in the black bracket. Begin by removing the rubber band holding the molded adapter plug and wires together at the base of the motor. Next, use a Phillips head screwdriver to remove and save one of the three screws in the black bracket. Then loosen, but do not remove, the two remaining screws. Then take the switch cup adapter, making sure the flat side is facing towards the fan, and feed the wires through the center hole of the switch cup adapter, and align the keyhole slots with the two screws that are in the black bracket. Press up and twist to engage the keyhole slots on those screws, and then partially tighten the two screws in the black bracket. Then insert the screw that was removed and saved into the standard screw hole of the switch cup adapter and completely tighten that screw. Once that screw is tightened, you can completely tighten the two remaining screws in the keyhole slots. The switch cup attaches to the switch cup adapter using two J slots and a standard screw hole. These will align with the three screws on the outer edge of the switch cup adapter. Begin by first removing and saving one of the screws on the switch cup adapter. Then loosen, but do not remove, the two remaining screws on the switch cup adapter. Next, connect the plug from the fan with the plug from the switch cup by aligning the arrows and pressing together. The clip will lock in place when properly inserted. Gently tuck the wires into the switch cup and align the J slots of the switch cup with the screws in the switch cup adapter, and press up and twist to engage those screws and hold in place. Next, insert the screw that was removed and saved into the standard screw hole of the switch cup. Then use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten that screw. Once that screw is tightened, completely tighten the 2 remaining screws on the switch cup. Attach the pull chain extension by inserting the end of the pull chain into the snap connector of the pull chain extension and snap in place. The fan's 3 speeds are controlled by the pull chain. Pull once for high speed, twice for medium speed, 3 times for low speed, and a 4th time to turn the fan off. The fan's reverse switch is located on the switch cup. Switch right to create an upward airflow during the cooler months to pull warm air from the ceiling and down into the room. Switch left will create a downward airflow for the warmer months. Make sure the fan is off and not running before attempting to reverse the fan's direction. Congratulations! Your ceiling fan installation is now complete. Time to sit back, relax with a nice tall beverage, and enjoy your brand new ceiling fan. As always, thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please click like and subscribe down below. That'll help other people find the video as well. And as we always say, keep it breezy.